Hello there, everybody. Welcome back to the Simply Social podcast. We are very excited about today's episode. We have a new face on today's episode. Please welcome our Director of Business Development. His name is James McLaughlin.
Hello, podcast world.
Drum roll. I need something to make that drum roll a little more effective. We're really excited about today's topic, though, because there's been a lot of talk about LinkedIn and how you can use it for, a variety of ways. But James is the master at LinkedIn. He knows how to use it in so many different ways. And your team has been growing so much recently in the last couple months. How many people are on the team now?
So there's 15 of us.
15, okay.
Yeah.
And it was substantially smaller not too long ago. I know that LinkedIn played a big part in recruiting those people and getting them up and rolling here to a role within C-Squared.
Yeah, exactly. So LinkedIn's been one of the tools that we've used really to find good people.
Yep.
So doing a lot of prospecting. And then on the other end of the business where we're finding our customers, we've been using LinkedIn extensively for prospecting. And what it really comes down to is LinkedIn provides us, it's basically a name directory by business title. Mm-hmm. So we're able to drill down and find the people that we want to talk to.
Mm-hmm. Does your team and yourself, do you use it mostly as a prospecting tool for new business?
Yeah, so the biggest thing that we use LinkedIn for is finding clients that we think should be clients of C-Squared.
Yeah.
So we search by different titles, and we try to send a message of value to these clients, mm-hmm. And talk about how we've helped people that look similar to them, and how we can help those clients.
Yeah. I know we put a big emphasis on the Facebook side. So lots of work, obviously, with our clients within Facebook because the reach there is so substantial. Mm-hmm. I think a question I get a lot is, I know LinkedIn is a smaller platform, but are good quality business people still hanging out there? And is it worth advertising from a business standpoint? Is it worth going out on LinkedIn and advertising there? Would you say it is?
So I would say LinkedIn from an advertising front will be very beneficial for you if you're doing B2B work. Mm-hmm. So if your business finding other business owners, again, LinkedIn has the tools where you can drill down and find people with the titles that you're looking for.
Yeah. Yeah, the job titles. I know there's tons of really good info within LinkedIn for targeting very specific backgrounds, or say like if they've graduated from a certain college and whatnot. There's all those factors in there.
Oh yeah, and connecting with alumni is great. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of different ways you can take your LinkedIn networking. And you can really just spend a lot of time on LinkedIn, but the mm-hmm. biggest piece is volume. And I always tell my team there's two pieces of LinkedIn. There's value and volume. Mm-hmm. So obviously,
break that down for us. Yeah.
you have to provide value to the people you're connecting with, mm-hmm. and just in any sales piece, volume's going to be the biggest factor. So you have to spend a lot of time sending out messages, sending out connections, and a certain percentage of those are going to connect with you, and you're going to be able to provide value to those people.
So how many messages would you say go out before you actually get a good response back?
Oh, I always love doing the example of 100. Uh-huh. So a very good crafted message will only maybe get you 1 to 4% response rate. Mm-hmm. So if you're able in a day to send out 100 messages, if you're killing it, you're going to get 4 positive responses.
Wow. That's a lot of messaging.
But the big piece is, what's that worth to your business?
Right.
And so that's something that I always like to encourage the team and some of our clients is, does one new client, what does that mean for you? Mm-hmm. Is that going to help you grow? And is it worth it for you to put the time in to do this networking piece? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And most of the time, it's yes.
Yes. Yeah. No, that's great. What would you say are, in terms of messaging, because that is a lot, 100 messages. You've got to have some kind of strategy when it comes to what that message looks like and how to get somebody's attention. Because I know I get a lot, even on my LinkedIn, where just post constantly. I try to get your attention, and there's quite a few that I don't look at. I mean, there's some, like, if they're catchy, then I'll click in it. But what's your method?
Sure. So the two pieces that I always encourage, number one is brevity. If a message is too long, I'm out.
Yep.
I'm not gonna read. And the other piece really is personality. And what you have to do is you have to bring yourself into the work you do.
Yeah.
People will not connect with you if you can't bring yourself into your professional space. So whatever it is, whatever message you're crafting, bring your excitement and bring your passion into it. And people can read that. And it is pretty exciting. I get a lot of messages, and I see the people who take the time and say, hey, I saw this,
Yeah.
would love to connect. And it opens that door where now because there's a personal connection and some excitement, that can carry the conversation forward.
Yeah. And I do feel like the more you're on it and you're continuing to, even with just your own contacts, if you're continuing to like and comment and continue to share in the excitement with what's going on within their feed, it just seems like it opens up the possibilities within connecting with even more people.
Oh, and if you do have the time to spend, if you look at someone's profile and then comment on, hey, I saw you posted this, I saw you shared this, would love to talk or connect, talk about how this relates to us. That's very, very powerful.
How many connections do you have on LinkedIn?
Oh,
Do you know?
maybe 2,400.
2,400? Wow, that's quite a bit. I think I'm somewhere in the like 500-ish range. Yeah.
We can get you up there, Caterly.
Can I get some assistance, please, with this? Can you send some messages for me? Get me out there.
Sounds good.
That's so funny. Yeah, I know LinkedIn is just such a tool. I think it gets overlooked in some ways, where it's just, you're spending time on there and you're connecting with people, but people forget that you can really use it to be creating more of a buzz about your business and reaching out to those prospects. We work within obviously many different industries. What industries have you felt like there's been some really good luck in prospecting with?
Well, so even just from our client side of it, when I think of the franchising space, we have some clients who are very successful messaging multi-unit owners. So on LinkedIn, it gives them the ability, they can search multi-unit owners. And if they know a large chunk of their business comes from small retail franchise owners, they can send messages to those people. And again, with the volume piece of it, if you put a good volume out there, you're sending 50, 100 messages a day, and they're to the right person, you're going to get an amazing response rate.
So, and that's actually a job title that is available to look for, is multi-unit owner.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And again, when you think of LinkedIn, the people who are on LinkedIn are people who are finding value on LinkedIn. And so those are going to be the people who own businesses, who value connections, and who are looking for networking. So when you think of who's on LinkedIn, who's spending time on LinkedIn, okay, if that's your target audience, you have to be in that space.
Yeah, I agree. Have you met people off of LinkedIn, like in person, that you've connected with?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think one of them is Aubrey on our sales team.
I know, she's an avid LinkedIner, for sure.
And it's funny seeing people, definitely LinkedIn is the biggest platform where I've met people on LinkedIn, and those have equated to real life connections.
All right, to wrap things up, where do you sort of see the future of LinkedIn going?
The future of LinkedIn. Well, obviously,
it's a big, broad question, I understand.
In all social media, it's an evolving landscape. But one thing I can say is LinkedIn is really a space where you have people who want to learn something, and they want to gain, again, value from this social network. So as long as there's those types of people out there and LinkedIn keeps doing what they're doing, it's going to be an open space where people can connect, they can learn, and they can grow their business in LinkedIn. So it's certainly something that, again, I'd recommend business owners, to really spend time here. It's something that for us has been a really invaluable tool.
Mm-hmm. I'm waiting for the day that Zuckerberg decides to buy it.
You might have a hard time buying that off of Microsoft.
We'll see. Never say never. All right. Well, I have a very special lightning round for you, all related to LinkedIn.
Uh-oh.
Okay. This is a tricky one. What is your best one-liner when it comes to your intro on LinkedIn when you're trying to connect with someone?
So I would say best one-liner, there's not one best liner, and it has to be personalized. So so when you send a connection, if you're able to point something out about that person or why you're reaching out to them, that's ultimately going to be the most effective. So if you can say, hey, I saw you were the leader of the Simply Social podcast.
Yep.
I'd love to connect.
Yeah.
It makes sense. And then obviously throwing value in that quick one sentence that you have.
Right. Because now I know instantly, oh, you know who I am. You know, there's establishing that connection right away. I see that.
Yeah. And
Do you use
and
some
it's
emojis?
something-
You throw something fun in there?
Oh, I love emojis. Again, with personality and showing who you are, you have to bring some of that into that space.
Yeah.
So even though LinkedIn is the most professional out of all the social media, this is the one where I think personality does show the most.
Yeah.
So if you can throw some emojis, get somebody smiling, that's going to open up the door and continue the conversation.
Keep it a little less serious, a little more personal.
Exactly.
Speaking of, so my next question, worst mistake that you've seen somebody use on LinkedIn in terms of like a profile picture?
Oh, I mean, I see a lot of things, and realizing who your audience is very important. Sharing personal things or pictures of you partying, this is not the social media for that. And you have to ask the question, what are you using LinkedIn for? And obviously it's not the space for sharing your intimate moments.
Yeah.
This is really the platform where people connect and people want to grow their business. So you should put on there professional things.
Yes.
So I'd say it's the blurred lines of professional and personal.
Yes. No, just like pictures of pets and babies and
Exactly.
No offense. I know you have a dog and it's very cute.
Good old Noah.
Well, my next question was how many connections do you have? You answered that prior to this, but what would be your goal for this year in connections? Where do you think you could make it to?
Well, if everybody who saw this podcast found me on LinkedIn,
Ha, I like that. A good plug.
send me a message. Send me your best message. More than happy to give you feedback there. But obviously, in growing networks are very, very valuable. So I want to get that as high as possible and make sure that I'm doing the work today that's going to net me the size of network that I want end of year.
Yep. 10,000.
Why not?
Throw it out there for you. Bring it
not,
on.
Yeah, that's doable.
And what about favorite skill to endorse? Because I know this is a big one. I get endorsed for things all the time, and sometimes I'm like, "Whoa, where did that come from? Where is that skill? I don't know if that's applicable, but I like them all. Won't say no to them. What's your favorite?
Well, I always say endorsements are definitely, they're the greasing the palm in LinkedIn. But if you can hop in there, find something that maybe somebody would find more personal and valuable to that person. Obviously, if you endorse them for the top 3, you're gonna look like everybody else. But yeah, like opening up their profile, seeing something that they'd find valuable is
something a little different. Yeah.
Get them excited.
I'll be looking.
Get them excited to again keep talking with you.
Yeah. I'm looking for my endorsement after this. FYI.
Okay.
Well, thank you for spending time with us on the podcast. I know you've got a busy month ahead. This guy is getting married soon, so he's got a lot going on. So I appreciate you spending time with us on Simply Social. And Get back to networking. We'll see.
Caterly, thanks for having me.
And thank you all for joining us on today's episode. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring that bell so you're the first to know about any podcast that does get released. Leave us a quick comment or check us out on Instagram. We will see you next time on our episode of Simply Social. Bye, guys.